And so let me just introduce myself. My name is Randy Lee, and I am a self-empowerment coach and also a competitive powerlifter. And what I want to share with you all today is how you can use your story to discover your life's purpose. So a little bit about my story and who I am. Growing up, I was always the fat girl. I was always the big friend, right? And because of that, I really struggled to find acceptance, to fit in. I was always trying to change who I was externally in order to fit in and feel like I was accepted by other people. And through this, I really didn't know who I was because I was always trying to change who I was in order to fit in and be accepted by other people. And through this, I developed a really horrible relationship with myself because I never felt good enough. I never felt like I was enough because I was always looking for acceptance from others and trying to change who I was externally. And, I really, at this point in my life, I wasn't owning my story. I was living on the outside of my story instead of living on the inside of my story. And it wasn't until I really owned my story that I was able to discover my life's purpose. So how I started discovering my life's purpose was I read the book Braving the Wilderness by Brené Brown. And in that book, it's all about owning our story so that we can have the courage to stand alone and brave the wilderness and not feel like we have to change who we are or change our values in order to be accepted by other people. So I just want to read a little bit this quote from her book that really stuck with me and really empowered me to start my own self-discovery journey. So she says, true belonging is a spiritual practice of believing in and belonging to yourself so deeply that you can share your most authentic self with the world and find a sacredness in being a part of something, but also standing alone in the wilderness. And this is the part that, this quote really changed my life right here. She says, true belonging doesn't require you to change who you are. It requires you to be who you are. And when I read that, it was like this light bulb went off inside of me that for so long I had been running from who I was instead of owning who I was and accepting myself fully. And that is really when I started to led me to try to discover who Randy is, what my life's purpose is. Because like I said, for so long, I was always trying to change who I was. I wasn't owning who I was. I wasn't accepting of who I was. I honestly didn't know who I was because I had been changing who I was for so long. One of my friends gave this analogy before. He said, it's like, imagine you are your favorite drink. Say your favorite drink is apple juice. We all start out as our authentic self, this drink, right? Whatever your favorite drink is. And every time we try to change who we are, it's like adding water to your drink. You're just diluting it. And pretty soon, you don't even recognize that drink. You don't even know that that's what it was because it's so diluted. And I really believe that that's what my life was. I had diluted who I was for so long. I didn't even know who I was. So once I decided to really own my story and step into my story and, sorry, the dog, discover, Athena, this is the crazy dog. Okay, so once I was able to step inside my story and own my story, that's when I was able to really discover my life's purpose. So what I want to share with you now, you know my whole life story and how I got to where I am. Now what I want to share with you is how you can discover who you are so that you can own your story. Because I think when we really get clear on who we are and what our values are, that's when we can discover our life's purpose. Because I think for so long, like I said, I was just trying to fit into these boxes of what I thought I should be instead of owning who I am. And so I really believe that the first step is getting clear on who you are. And once we get clear on who we are, then we can own who we are and we can own our story. So ways that you can discover who you are, ask yourself these questions. What are my life's values? If I could do anything or be anything, what would that be? What types of things bring me the most joy in my life? When are the times I feel the happiest? If I could help or serve anybody, who would that be? What inspires you? What are you passionate about? I think when you really dive into those questions, it gets to the core of who you are internally and your soul. Without all of this, you really get to the core of who you are. And again, when we get clear on that, that's when we can own who we are. So once I got clear on who I was, I discovered my life's purpose, which I truly believe is to help other women discover their purpose, their power, and own their story. So just to summarize, the 3 things that I really believe will help you own your story and discover your life's purpose are: 1, get clear on who you are. Number 2, own that shit. Own your story. Own who you are. Be brave enough to stand in that wilderness, brave the wilderness, because at the end of the day, the only person you have to belong to is yourself. The only person that needs to accept you is you. And when you find that unconditional love, that acceptance for yourself, then you can own your story. So that's number 2. And number 3 is manifest that shit. Once you're clear on who you are, what your life's purpose is, it's just about manifesting. It's about getting clear on that and putting it into the universe. And that is the part of the journey that I am on now. It is manifesting what I believe I was sent on this universe to do. And so thank you so much for allowing me to share what I believe is my life's purpose, which is sharing my story. Like, how crazy is that someone's purpose could really be sharing their story? But I believe that when we share our story, we connect with others. And isn't that what life is all about, is building that connection and knowing that we're not alone? And sharing our story breaks through those barriers when we feel like we're all alone, when we feel like no one understands us. Share your story and you'll discover that you are so much more alike than other people than you even know. So thank you again for letting me share this with you. I know that one of the most difficult things in owning your story is having the confidence to do so. So I want to share with you all my self-confidence workbook. It's totally free. So I'm going to link below in the comments where you can download my self-confidence workbook so you can start building the self-confidence that you need to own your story. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message, and have a wonderful day. Love you. Bye.